welcome to another series from MCC. In our series of live stream series, we are talking about Apple's fantastic 30 activities for kids. These are creative activities that you can do in a classroom, that children can do at home, and they're good fun. So let's get our introductions first. With me, as always, Mr. David Kirtland, Apple Professional Learning Specialist, very experienced educator and all-round technology guru. Without you, David, these webinars would be nothing, I assure you. And my name is Richard Child. I'm the Education Manager for MCC Digital. We're an Apple Professional. No, we're not that. We're an Apple Authorized Education Specialist. So many acronyms. And David's going to take us through some of these activities. So what have we got in store today, David?
Okay, great. Thank you, Richard. We are going to start with looking at where we find some of these resources. So we're quite lucky, really. We've got even more ideas of things that we can be doing with iPads, either in the classroom or if we're home educating, we can adapt these to all sorts of things. And there's a whole set of these ideas that we can start with and we can develop into much bigger projects if we want, or we can stick with the simple ideas that are here. And we're going to have a look at some of these over these series of webinars. So let's jump straight in and find where these are to start with. Now, I'm going to go to the Apple Teacher Learning Center. If you've not been here before, you need to just jump along to the website appleteacher.apple.com and sign up with your Apple ID. It's all free. There's lots of resources here. So appleteacher.apple.com. And we have talked about the Apple Teacher in a previous episode of these webinars. But as we're focusing on these activities, there's two key areas to the Apple Teacher Learning Center, and we've got this professional learning section in the middle of the screen here. We've got the foundational skills, where we're looking at developing our knowledge and understanding of some of the core apps that we have on the iPad. And then we've now got lesson integration, which is really about developing those into practical activities where we can do something creative in the classroom. And within lesson integration, there's all sorts of content and resources here. And we have talked about these in another session, but let's jump in this time to Everyone Can Create. And we have an overview here of these Everyone Can Create resources. And what we've got is the project guides, and there's some substantial projects in there around video, drawing, photography, and music. And there's some really great things in there. Have a look at the previous series of the webinars to have a look at some of the content there. But now in this series, we're going to look at these intro activities. And we've got these little cards. It says start with 30 creative activities for kids. And these little cards are just short, snappy ideas of the type of things that we could use as a starter activity, or we could develop into a longer task. And in this series, we're going to start working through some of these. We're not going to do all of these. We're going to pick and choose some of them, but they're all there for you to develop and have a look at. And we have got 30 really nice ideas to start with. And as Richard kind of suggested at the beginning, we're quite lucky now because when we get to the bottom of this 30, we've actually now got 30 more activities. So tap on the link and it takes us to another set of 30 activities. Now, these are tentatively split between age groups. The first 30 for maybe the younger children, the second 30 for the slightly older children. It says 8 to 12, but these are just ideas. And we can develop these, we can adapt them to different age groups of children as we're working. And it really doesn't matter because we're all teachers. This is what we do. We take the idea and we develop it into something further with the class. So these are our starting points. And that's what we're going to work with through this series of webinars. So let's jump straight in. I'm going to go back to the original 30 to start with. And I'm going to start with number 1. And the first task here is personify something. So this is a nice simple task. They all are nice, quick and easy ones. This is about going and finding an object here, and we're going to add some faces to it. We're going to personify it. Now, the whole idea really is that we want to probably be creating a sequence of these images, and we could even take those sequences to tell a bit of a story and go into something like the Book Creator app, which is a really nice, easy app for creating ebooks. But one of the styles of ebooks is a comic book strip, that type of format where we've got the different cells. So we could take these photos, we could draw on them to annotate them, add characters to different objects, and then eventually, if we want that longer project, tell a bit of a story, the day in the life of one of these objects and how we could use it. So all these cards give us this starting point, and this is saying here, open your photo app, tap edit, and we're going to use the markup tool to annotate the image. So let's have a go. So I'm going to use my camera tool. I'm just going to open up the camera And there we are. In front of me here is the microphone we're using for this webinar. So I think I'm going to personify our microphone. So I'm just going to take a photo of the microphone. There it is. There's our object. And I'm going to tap in the top corner. We have an edit button. And it takes us to our usual edit tools for manipulating images on the iPad. We've got our tools down the left-hand side here where we can add adjustments and change the brightness and the contrast. We can add filters, we can crop, we can do all sorts of things to these images. But I'm going to use the More button. So up in the top corner, we've got these 3 dots. That's the More button. And there's always something interesting under the More button. If you see these 3 dots on any iPad app, press it. There's usually something worthwhile having a look at there. And this one gives us the option to mark up. So we can now use our finger or an Apple Pencil to start annotating this image. It did just pop up there. It said, do you want to turn live photos off? Well, we do, because whenever we take a photo on an iPad, we're actually taking a live photo. It's got that kind of Harry Potter feel to it where a photo can move, and we can use that in some of these tasks and do some creative things with it. But in this case, we just want a standard photo. So it's just turned off live photos. So let's think about how we can use this. Now, we have a series of pencils. We've got crayons, we've got markers, we've got an eraser. We can change our colors. We've got all sorts of colors we can choose from. I think I'm going to go for a light gray or a white to start with. And let's start drawing on the picture. Let's put some eyes in. Now, I'm using the crayon here, but we have got different thicknesses. So I'm going to go slightly narrower here, I think. We have got an opacity slider as well, so we could work with that, but let's start putting some characters to it. Let's put some different parts to this. Let's add some hair. And we'll just add in this kind of face to it. I'm going to put a bit more detail in here. And we can just keep working with this. We can keep adding more and more content. And obviously you can turn this into as much time as you need to create the topic. Let's put a shirt on him. Let's go with a dark blue. And maybe nearer a purple. But we just start colouring it in, and it's one of those nice tasks to let the children kind of doodle with and just keep adding content. Let's go for a lighter blue here. And we can take as much time over this as we like, but just giving this kind of rough and ready kind of style just looks quite nice on these. We've got these little characters that we're starting to develop out of different objects. And then we can think about adding a literacy element and telling that story with it. Let's find a darker one. There we go. So nice and simply, we're just taking those simple markup tools, getting the children looking at the environment around them, seeing what we can find as an object and starting to add some kind of story element to it. And just by adding these faces and just using those simple markup tools, we can create some really nice little stories. Taking that into that comic strip, got some great ideas there. So really simple. That's how quick and easy some of these tasks are, just really snappy little ideas to start us off. But develop that into multiple pictures, sequence of events, take the object, place it in different scenarios, see what we can start developing. But really nice and easy. That's just number one there, personify something. So there's our first quick task. Let's go back. Let's have a look at what the next one will be. Now, let's go back to our list. And I think I'm going to jump into number 3 next. And that's not to say I'm picking and choosing the best ones here. They're all great. It's just some of the quick and easy ones to have a look at. Now, this is great for younger children here, maybe an EYFS activity here, making colouring sheets. And it is really simple. This is something lots of children really enjoy doing, but they could even start creating colouring sheets for each other. So again, we're going to work with those markup tools. We've just looked at them for personifying a topic here, but let's do something slightly differently. So I'm going to go back to my camera tool. I'm just going to turn to my side here. And I've had a quick look around the room and I found a cushion. It's just a cushion with some little embroidery on here, but I'm going to use this. So let's just go nice and close. and take that photo. So there's my photo of some birds embroidered into a cushion. Let's go back to the same edit tools. And in here, we've got our options now to make any of the adjustments. I'm going to go to my filters to start with. And I've got different colors where I can change the tone of these pictures. And I can just change the slight hues and the colors. But I'm going to make this black and white. And you can pick which style. We've got different styles of black and white, but I think something like that probably works quite well for this one. The noir effect is okay. I have got a strength slider, so I can change the subtleties of it if I want to there. But let's stick with that and stay in the edit mode. Let's go back to our markup tools. Turn off that live photos again, just like we did before. But now we can ask the children to start coloring things in. I think I'm going to go for the marker tool to start with. And I'm going to change my opacity because I don't want to write just over the top. I'm going to make it about halfway for now. And we can change our thickness. We can decide what's appropriate. And I'm going to go red. I think I'm going to color one of these in red to start with. And we can just carefully now, using our finger or our pencil, just start to color in some of these objects. And I might go to the crayon this time. Let's go to yellow. Let's put color his feet in. Let's check how thick it is. So we'll have this one quite, I'll turn the opacity down a little bit so we can still see the lines there. But we've got, let's color his feet in. Maybe his beak as well. And then we could add some highlights. Go back to a red. And then I think we'll do another bird. I'm going to go back to my marker. And let's have a blue this time. Let's do this blue bird. So these look really quite effective. And really, it's just about taking a really simple photo and seeing what we can do with it, just to give it a little bit of a different feel, but nice and easy for children to even create these for each other. There we go. I think that will do for this one. But you get the idea of now how we're adding our own color to it. And you could take photos of anything. It could be plants, it could be topic based, it could be anything really. We wanted the children to experiment with colors and black and white, different objects, different things that we want to put in there, and just being able to recognize things that might work for things like this. And you'll have lots of these things lying around. I just happen to have that cushion there, but it could be teddy bears, it could be toys, it could be photos from books, it could be anything. So another really simple one there, just creating these nice topics just to create those little activities. And these are the kind of things that children like doing anyway. They like playing with these. So even parents can use this kind of idea for activities on the different devices. So let's go back, and we got another one that's a similar idea really. And this is, let's go back to our list here. This is number 10. If we skip along to option number 10 here, this is about finding shapes in nature. And again, a lot of these are about, instead of just sitting down with the iPad and all that screen time and just watching things like YouTube and YouTube Kids, this is about getting up and moving around and doing things. So this is where we might want to take the iPad out into the garden, into the street, around places that we visit, and looking for objects. And we do quite a lot of this with these tasks, looking around us, integrating the world that we're in, and how we can start using that to manipulate some of the content here. And this one is just a really quick and easy one. Again, finding shapes in nature. So when we're starting to get children thinking about patterns and about geometric shapes, and just looking around to see whether we can start recognizing these things using those same skills, so taking photos, using those markup tools to start identifying different shapes. Now, I've got a few photos that I took from the garden when it wasn't raining. So simple things like flowers. And we can just do exactly the same here. These are some of the flowers in the back garden, but just using those markup tools, we can start identifying things like some of these stars, getting the children to start annotating and labeling some of these different colors that we have on here. And we can start highlighting the content and seeing what we're doing there. Other shapes that we might have, I don't know, I've got patterns in the leaves. I cut a tomato in half as well, just to see what was there. We've got squares, we've got semicircles, we've got ovals. So just getting children to think, actually, let's have a look inside this fruit, inside this vegetable, see if we see any patterns and symmetry and so on. So another simple one, using those same skills we've just been looking at, but applying it to a different curriculum area, a different approach, a different activity, mix and match. We can split all these around. Let's do the last one for this broadcast. And I'm going to go back to our activities. I'm going to go towards the end. And we're just going to end this first one with number 25. Have a laugh. Nice little plenary for the end of a session. We might want to put this at the end. We're going to dip into Siri every now and again in some of these sessions, but there's all sorts of things we can ask Siri to do. So let's end this session with having a joke from Siri. So over to you, Siri. Tell us a joke.
Did you know that there's a Dutch cheese called Edam, which is made backwards?
I'll let you decide whether that one was humorous or not, but there's a different joke every time we do it. So a little bit potluck there. Let's just jump into Siri and see what he has to say. So really, that's just a quick first introduction to some of these topics. We've got a few more episodes to come where we're going to explore some of these. Some of them take a bit longer, some of them are a bit shorter, but it's a good start for creating lots of content on the iPad. So Richard, I'm going to hand back over to you.
Absolute genius as always. And yeah, here's some links how to get to those activities. As David correctly said, the right way to go is to join the Apple Teacher Program and navigate your way to those activities and everything else that's in that fantastic program. But if you're impatient, then these links here, these QR codes will take you straight to those downloads and those pages. So we've got 30 creative activities, we've got 30 more creative activities, and we've also got augmented reality activities, which we will look at in another episode. So zap those QR codes if that's where you want to go. Or of course, just go to the Apple Teacher Program, log yourself in with your Apple ID, and you know, plenty to keep you busy in that program. And we've got plenty to keep you going as well. So we are building up a library of video resources. This one will be, of course, posted to this channel. But we've got all our prior episodes and some other goodies for you there. So we've got a series about coding. We've got the series about Everyone Can Create. We've got another series that will take you through the Apple Teacher certification, and lots more as well. So some subject specific videos on there that we've built up over the last few years too. So we're all connected with Apple in the Classroom. So do take a look at that. Now, finally, thank you. I've enjoyed that. Love the microphone. They're just so simple, aren't they? And the colouring in, it's absolute genius. So we will be back with more exciting activities for kids in the not too distant future. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.